Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're going to be talking about what limit breaks I think are really important in no specific order, and which ones you should be pouring all of your limit break potions into. So I've selected out of all of my UR units, the 10 units that I believe have the most important limit breaks in the game, and I've also selected 5 honorable mentions as well. There's one unit I do not have, and that is Ramza. And I do believe Ramza's limit break is viable. We're just going to throw him off to the side. 100% accuracy, it's a good ability. I would say if you're looking for an LB to level for damage with 100% accuracy, Ramza's your guy. He gets a lot of use otherwise. Otherwise, he's just kind of a damage limit break. So keep that in mind. That is the one limit break that is not really ranked on here, but I do think it is relevant and enough to mention just by the fact that it is a 100% accuracy limit break. Now, there are many different reasons why you might want a limit break leveled, and we're going to talk about these because these limit breaks are not universal. There are a few that are universal that I will talk about and that I definitely think are a higher priority than others. Ildira's Theorem, it raises CT for self and allies within range and raises the effect of the own level if the unit is a multiplier of 3. This is really going to be a live PvP limit break that I think is really relevant, right? If you're going to be doing live PvP, I think this limit break is going to be relevant. It's fun. It's something you're going to be using. And I think there's a lot of people who level Ildira to use her in live PvP because the calculators are more sophisticated, they're more complicated, and being able to throw in CT manipulation on top of that is always going to be viable. Now, Kilfei, a lot of people don't want to level Kilfei's limit break, and I actually think leveling Kilfei's limit break is really good in GVG, in Arena, because 1, people don't expect it, and 2, it acts very similar to Armor Crush. So, Kilfei's limit break lowers target's magic resistance for 3 turns, then deals large damage based on the caster's magic stat. This is just like Armor Crush from Sid. This is insanely powerful. There's so many people out there that run their Kilfeis just for Holy or just for Energy Buster, and really, running her for her LB is completely viable, and it is a beast. When you see this thing proc, when it's fully leveled and it has magic resistance down, mine's only at 15, it's going to take down anyone. And I mean anyone. It's crazy. So definitely one for the books. The only real drawback is that it does have high AP cost. Venera's limit break, Dark Art Hidden in Haze, is a really good limit break for raids and for content like Trials of Reckoning. It's a 3-hit damage large to the target, and a chance of inflicting poison for 3 turns. What's important here is that it is a 3-hit damage attack for chaining. If you run Dark Slash comps, or if you're running a Slash comp, this is an excellent chain finisher for you to be able to overkill if you're in a situation like Trials of Reckoning, where your overkill damage actually matters and reflects on your score. A great situation in case you need to build your chain quickly so that you can one-shot the opponent in the next turn or 2. It's flexible, it's versatile, and leveling it up does increase the amount of damage done. So make sure if you do have Venera, if you are jumping into those Dark Slash comps, you do have her limit break leveled. It's definitely one of those ones where if you're a Dark Slash comp type of guy, you know you are, get this leveled, because no matter what, with Venera's access to steal time, she is going to be a constant use either in raids or other relevant content for years to come, I imagine. Victoria's TMR is in a class of TMR that is very similar to Agrius, right? Or I would also think of it as Miranda, where the TMR abilities have status effects associated with them that are very powerful. And leveling them only affects the damage, it does not affect the chance of the status effect to land. So Victoria's TMR Enchanting Trap has a chance to charm your opponents and is my single most loved limit break. I think I might have said TMR there, but it's my single most loved limit break on her. Because your opponent, whether you're in GVG, whether you're in Arena, whether you're in live PvP, whatever you're doing, your opponent is never ready for charm. And a fun fact as well, Enchanting Trap has the highest charm percentage rate in the game at 67%. This is the same with Agrius's Confusion on her limit break as well. It's beastly, and charm can turn everything sideways, and it's so fun. I mean, how can you not love it? I could make videos for days talking about this strategy, and you don't have to level it because you don't want to kill your opponents and increase the damage it does. So, I mean, it's a win-win-win all around. Now, I did say I would call out the most prevalent limit breaks in the game, and Ayaka's limit break is that limit break. It's the limit break you hands down need to get level 20 if you do have Ayaka and you are using her. The recover HP is literally based off of her limit break level, so having it maxed out is going to be one of the best ways to make sure that she heals your allies to full. It removes stop and it raises stop resistance in a world where Agrius is very prevalent. I mean, overall, it's a godsend. People are going to be using this for years and years and years. If you do have Ayaka, you do need to level it and you do need to use it. Now let's talk about Rain's limit break, because Rain is very similar to Venera, right? He's a very relevant unit for raids, and his limit break lowers target's fire resistance for 3 turns, then deals 2-hit damage large based on the caster's magic stat. It's a fire attack, it is fire slashing, so it will chain with other rains, it'll change with chain. Good God. This is like the one video. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've been recording like all day different videos, and I've just been messing up every single one. So I'm just being honest right now. Like, this is my mouth being tired of talking so much and messing up my videos so damn much. Shining Nova, though, you need to level it. You're going to be using it with Rain. If you do have Rain, it's amazing. For him, it's amazing. He's going to be using this. It's going to make him stronger. It's going to lower the opponent's fire resistance. If you're running Rain, whether it's PvE, GVG, raiding, this is going to be relevant for him. Level it. You're going to want to do it. Medina, do I need to say, like, you know, when I first started making YouTube videos about Medina, I kind of talked about her as like a giant crystal of death that would just show up and kill me, because I didn't have any relevant units and I was mostly free to play, and Medina would just stomp me in the beginning of the game. That's how I feel about her limit break. Her limit break is even more relevant now that she has access to Decider of Fate in her sub abilities, and she actually uses her sub abilities really often. So she's one of those units right now that this limit break is just an example of how a limit break can immediately come back with an AI change, or maybe when we get the Icebird card that gives ice attack up to the entire party. It's just going to be one of those limit breaks we're going to continue to see, and that is going to continue to devastate us for the entirety of the game. Let's talk about Ketone. Saga Shadowbind. All right, 2-hit, large damage to target with a chance of inflicting stop. This is just like Victoria, guys, except this stop is 67%. So frustrating. Your ribbons will not protect you from this stop. This will go through your ribbons, and let me tell you, it only costs 43 AP to cast. If there's a Ketone on the enemy team that you can't hit, you're dead. She's gonna Shadowbind you. It's gonna be the end of the game for y'all. Not only that, you don't even have to level it to increase the stop percentage chance, so you're screwed either way. I think this is a great tool in GVG, Arena, even live PvP, you could probably utilize it. Sid's limit break is an interesting one, and I think everybody, if you do have Sid, you should have it leveled. It's very similar to Medina's. It's never going to be a game changer, I would say. It's not going to be a game changer limit break, but it is going to give you a large chunk of damage. It's going to haste your Sid. There are times, of course, where you don't want him to use this, and with the prevalence of, you know, slash resistance teams and tanks, this is becoming less and less relevant. However, I'm wondering if now that we have other cards, like the slash penetration cards, if we're going to see Sid's limit break come more relevant. And of course, depending on the map we're on as well for Arena, him being able to pop this limit break could literally just kill 2 enemies right away. So, very viable. And I'm not gonna lie, me having Sid's limit break leveled has like saved me a bajillion times. Skahal's TMR. Oh my god, I keep saying TMR. Y'all, we're gonna make it to the end of this video. Skull's Limit Break deals 3-hit damage large to targets within range based on the caster's magic stat with a chance of inflicting paralysis. What's really powerful about this, we haven't seen yet. Just being honest with you. We don't know that this is powerful yet. Or at least you all might not know. I know that this is going to be really powerful when the Siren Raid comes out. That's pretty much all this is going to be used for. However, in the future, if we ever have raids that are focused on lightning chaining, this is going to be one of the abilities to go to. If the enemy is weak to magic, it's going to be even better. And it's definitely going to keep Skull relevant with the paralysis and the abilities as well. It's just going to be around for a while. I think whether you level it now or you level it later, you might not even level it at all. I think it will be relevant in the near future. And now it's time for us to talk about the honorable mentions. And I know people are probably like losing their mind that I put Glaciella in the honorable mentions. You know, her limit break never really impressed me. Raising your own damage limit then deals large damage to the target, ends the chain at 5. You know, when I was running Behemoth, a lot of the times I didn't need to use her limit break. You know, I would have damage cap modifying attacks on, and then I would just pop Surefire Burst, and it would do, you know, 12.5k damage. And if you have a lot of Glaciellas doing that, you didn't need to pop her limit break to do like 19,000 damage or whatever, however much it does. I can't remember. I just know it was a lot of damage. But I don't think, you know, enough people have it leveled, and I wasn't in groups where, you know, they were effectively making use of this. It'll probably see some use in Trials of Reckoning when we are fighting Golbez, and we're running with Pierce composition, if you're one of those people running with Pierce compositions. But again, that means that you're going to be running with a Pierce composition. That means you're going to have to run with a Pierce team. You're going to have this limit break leveled. It's one of those ones where it's probably fine at level 1 because you're probably not popping it at chain 5. You're probably popping it at like 1 billion chains or whatever. And your damage is probably going to be capped no matter what anyway. Warrior of Light's limit break, I would say, is also pretty niche. Grants Protect and Shell on himself and attacks the opponents. Could be the difference between life and death. I think a lot of the times, you know, it's a good chaining ability as well. And it can kind of start the chains on some opponents, right? So it's a 3-hit damage, bestows Protect and Shell. But the thing with this is the Protect and Shell strength is also based off of your limit break strength. And that's kind of, so it's not the best ability. You have Little Leela who can also dispel that and, you know, deal magic damage. Her limit break's pretty good. But again, if she's within range to use it, she's usually dead, I would say. And I have had a couple times where she has used her limit break to either win or defeat an opponent and save me. But it just hasn't been like a pivotal part of her, as opposed to other parts in her kit. Yerma gets an honorable mention because of the lowering resistances that she has associated with her limit break. Pretty niche as well, but again, there are always times where Yerma, you know, if you're a Yerma main out there, Yerma is surprisingly relevant, particularly regarding her LB. So I always think to include her. There's also kind of the consideration that, you know, she's kind of a cool unit. Nobody uses an axe unit. Finally, Freya vs LB, just because literally nobody is prepared for this, right? Nobody is prepared for like a healing tanky unit come out and just pop this ice prison and destroy you. Again, another ice unit. It's only going to become more relevant with the ice bird that's going to be coming out, which is going to give ice attack out for the entire party, and we're just going to get devastated by it. Like, it's going to be one of those limit breaks that's just going to keep coming back and just like utterly obliterating you. There are probably other limit breaks that you are really passionate about. I have no doubt that I did not cover, you know, every single viable important limit break in the game. I did only pick out the ones that I personally have loved and enjoyed and I think are relevant. If you disagree with me, or if you think you have a limit break that you think might be better, throw it down in the comment section down below. And as always, if you are going to buy Visior, please use my affiliate link dig.gs/coins, or you can always go to dig.gs/offer to get my special offer right now. And finally, make sure you come to the Discord, dig.gs/discord. We're always looking for more people. Come say hi, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.